Opioid use is a growing problem worldwide, and even in India, it's becoming a public health crisis, with 2 out of 100 adults using opioids in one or the other form. Opioid use can lead to serious health consequences, including overdose, infections like HIV and hepatitis, as well as addiction. It can also cause serious social and economic consequences for people. It's important to remember that opioid use disorder is treatable both with medications as well as with psychological interventions. My name is Dr. Pratima Murthy. I'm the director of the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, and a senior professor in psychiatry.
What is opioid use disorder and how does it typically begin?
Opioid use disorder can occur from the use of various kinds of opioids, both illicit opioids like heroin, as well as pharmaceutical opioids like propoxyphene, tramadol, tapentadol, and so on. Whatever is the kind of opioid, it leads to regular use of the substance, development of tolerance, development of withdrawal symptoms including craving, and salience. All of these can result in the use of opioids in an addictive pattern and can cause health consequences, family consequences, social, as well as legal consequences. People use opioids for a variety of reasons. They may start because of curiosity, peer pressure, enjoyment, or relief of pain. But because it's an addictive substance, it acts on the reward circuits of the brain, producing tolerance to the side effects, leading to more and more regular use and including injecting drug use. And then the person develops the disorder, and because of the craving and the withdrawal symptoms, the person needs to continue the substance. So the original reason why the person used the substance changes, and because of the addictive potential on the brain, the person continues to use the substance and develop a disorder.
How does opioid use affect the brain and overall health?
Opioids, when they're used, attach to specific receptors in the brain, especially those receptors responsible for euphoria or pain relief. This is called hijacking of the reward center of the brain. Therefore, things that were previously pleasurable like food, relationship, drink, etc. become less important for the individual, and the person only focuses on getting the drug, procuring it, living with its effects, or overcoming its effects, and this is typically called addiction. And therefore, the person's relationships decline, the person's performance decline, the person is always seeking the drug as a form of dependence. We also must remember that excessive use of opioids can result in overdose and fatalities as well. People also progress to injecting drug use. There are more than 8.5 lakh such users in the country, and this poses a huge public health risk.
What treatment options are effective for people using opioids?
Many people who use opioids want to quit, but they're unable to because of the withdrawal symptoms, particularly the craving. So a variety of treatments are available to treat the withdrawal symptoms and to reduce the craving in the long term. In addition, motivating persons to quit the use of opioids to address the emotional, relationship, and other problems that might lead to stress and preventing relapse are very important steps to help the individual to give up opioids. They must remember that it is possible to treat opioid use disorders and get back to a life without opioid use.
How can families, schools, and communities intervene early to prevent opioid misuse?
The most important thing is to spread awareness about the dangers of either prescription drug use or the use of any illicit drugs, including opioids. Having open conversations with young people about the dangers of opioid use, safer ways of relaxing and having a good time, engagement with families, engagement in other kinds of extracurricular activities like sports and other forms of recreation, having conversations in schools about the dangers of opioid use, improving life skills among young people, which includes improving communication, coping skills, resilience, being able to say no to friends who use drugs, are all important aspects of prevention of substance use, particularly opioid use. The most important message is that opioid use disorders are both preventable as well as treatable. We must improve access to treatments as well as make people more aware of the availability of treatments. There must be no stigma against seeking treatment, and people must understand that this is a medical and psychosocial condition which requires treatment.